Islam Makhachev's teammate and longtime friend Josh Thompson recently touched on Islam's potential retirement, but he's not buying the idea that Makhachev would hang up the gloves immediately after capturing a second belt. While some fans believe the Dagestani might ride off into the sunset if he becomes a two-division champ by beating Jack Della Maddalena, Thompson thinks Islam would stick around just a bit longer. According to him, Makhachev could very well defend the welterweight strap once, but only if the opponent is truly worthy. One name that came up, Kamaru Usman. The former welterweight king has floated the idea of facing Islam before, and stylistically, that matchup has everything: elite wrestling, championship experience, and a legacy-defining opportunity for both men. Another possibility? Shavkat Rakhmonov. The undefeated Kazakh finisher is not only surging in the rankings, but he's also become a huge name in Caucasus region. A showdown between Islam and Shavkat would be one of the biggest fights imaginable in that part of the world. A colossal matchup between two of the most composed and dangerous fighters in MMA today.
I think he'll defend it one time, and I think it'll depend. I also believe that if it's going to be probably like a Shavkat, I think it'll maybe be a Sean Brady. If Sean Brady gets past, who's Sean Brady? Ian Gary is. They're talking that they're scheduled to fight next. Is Sean Brady and Ian Gary? So if he gets past him, yeah, I think if it ends up being like an Ian Gary, I don't know if he'll do it. I think he'll just probably be like, okay, I'm good. You know, I think he wants to fight guys that want to fight, not guys that run around. And so, like, Sean Brady will come forward and bring the fight. Shavkat will come forward and bring the fight. You know, outside of that, I mean, if it's Kamaru Usman, Kamaru said that he would fight Islam. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But I mean, like, you know, they'll talk about it. They can make a lot of money. That might be a fight to have too. At 34 years old though, like, he understands that the time is coming, you know, and I think that he's somebody that also doesn't want to take a bad loss and be like, all right, look, I'm done. Yeah. Like, he wants to just be able to kind of go out on his terms. And plus, he's only got one loss.
Paddy Pimblett is known for repping his fellow Brits, but when it comes to Jon Jones, even national loyalty has its limits. With Tom Aspinall on the verge of a massive heavyweight title unification clash against Jones, Paddy was asked to weigh in, and while he made it clear he's rooting for Aspinall, he couldn't bring himself to bet against the man many consider the greatest of all time. Paddy praised Aspinall's chances, admitting he could see the interim champ landing something clean and pulling off the upset. But for him, the consistency and genius of Jones is hard to go against. Pimblett grew up watching Jones dominate, and what impresses him most is Jon's ability to game plan and execute with ruthless precision. As much as he supports Aspinall, Paddy says he just can't ever pick against Bones. That stance may not sit well with fans back home, but when it comes to fighting legends, even countrymen get second billing. It is hard to disagree with Paddy though. Sure, Aspinall is one of the toughest challenges in Jon's career, but at the same time, Jones has beat up every single fighter that's been put in front of him.
I can't pick it. I love Aspinall, lad, he's my mate and that, but I can never pick against Jon Jones. We've never seen him get beat. I think now if anyone's going to beat him, it is Aspinall. Aspinall could just knock him out and come out with his hands and knock him clean out, but I've never picked against Jon Jones. I've been watching Jon Jones since he became champ when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Since I started watching the UFC in like 2009, 2010. I've been watching Jon Jones ever since then, before he won the belt. I can remember watching the fight live when he got disqualified for the 12-6 elbows. That's how long I've been watching Jon Jones. And it's just the way he game plans. He finds a way to beat someone, and he works on that exact thing and how to beat them. But if anyone's going to beat him, it's Aspinall.
Jon Jones has touched down in Dagestan, and this time he's not just doing a media tour. According to reports from Russian MMA outlets, Jones is set to link up with Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov for some serious training. He's currently in Russia, filming the Russian variant of The Ultimate Fighter alongside Nate Diaz. And let's just say he's been making headlines for more than just the show, appearing drunk on camera, getting involved in an altercation, and stirring up plenty of noise. But the trip to Dagestan seems to be a calculated one. Jones was actually in the region years ago under similar circumstances, visiting gyms, doing seminars, and working with young fighters. That trip didn't involve Islam or Khabib, But this time, the current and former lightweight champs are expected to host him at their gym. The visit was first revealed by Rustam Khabilov, Jones' former training partner from his Jackson Wink days, and a proud Dagestani himself. The same sponsors who brought Jones out years ago are believed to be behind this one too, and if we're lucky, some training footage between Jon and Team Makhachev could be surfacing soon, and that's something every MMA fan will want to see. In an interview with the Russian channel, Vesnik MMA, Rustam said the following, quote, "Jones is already flying over here. We expect him shortly. As you know, we're good friends, and for a long time we have been talking about him visiting Dagestan for the second time to get some sessions in with the boys as well. The time has come." When asked whether Islam or Khabib will meet with Jon, Khabibov said, quote, "Of course everybody will be here," end quote. Chael Sonnen reacts to Paddy Pimblett's plans for his next opponent in pursuit of UFC gold. Paddy isn't just enjoying the spotlight after his big TKO win over Michael Chandler, he's already mapping out his path to UFC gold. With momentum at his back and his stock skyrocketing, Paddy's aiming high. First on his list, Justin Gaethje. That's the fight he wants next, a guaranteed war that would test Paddy's grit and durability like never before. After that, he's eyeing a showdown with Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title. But he's not ruling out Arman Tsarukyan either, a fighter he's had verbal sparring with recently. That tension is still brewing, and Paddy says he'd be more than happy to settle that score inside the cage. Now imagine the electricity of a Paddy versus Ilia title fight. Two European stars with huge fan bases, polar opposite personalities, and elite skills. Not to mention the heated history. It would be chaos. Technical violence from Topuria versus wild unpredictability and slick grappling from Paddy. The hype alone would carry the event, but the clash of styles makes it one of the most fascinating fights the UFC could book. And don't sleep on Paddy versus Gaethje either. Justin's leg kicks, power punches, and relentless pressure against Paddy's scrambling back takes and confidence? That's fight of the year written all over it. Whether it's Ilia, Justin, or Tsarukyan, one thing's clear. Paddy Pimblett is locked in, dangerous, and closer than ever to the top.
Paddy said he would fight Justin Gaethje, and then he would fight Ilia Topuria. Now, Ilia Topuria versus Paddy is one of the truest grudges that we have in our sport right now. And some of you might not have known about it, and the rest of you might have forgot about it. But that B-roll and footage exists. Every bit as much as Masvidal and Leon exists, Ilia and Paddy exists. Okay, great. But how do we get there? And one thing that Paddy said about his career, he said, "I'll fight Gaethje and then I'll go and I'll deal with Charles," was it? But he had a different idea. If Ilia won, if Ilia wins and that's the big grudge match, move Gaethje out of the side. He's ready for the title right now. Paddy called for a fight against an Armenian helmet. The Armenian helmet has said, "I will fight you." Paddy has now come up with a different plan that doesn't involve him. I'm just laying out the fact pattern for you.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.